Yes, people, what is happening? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another video and more Liverpool related transfer things, etc. to talk about. As you can see, guys, I'm sure you've noticed it. Look, we are here. Adidas, the new Liverpool kit. I have finally got my hands on all three of them, and I am rocking the iconic new Adidas kit. Guys, I love this kit. I absolutely love it. I feel way more comfortable wearing this than I did last season's kit. I'll be totally honest. Love it, man. Finally got my hands on a new kit. Loving it. So, what are we going to be talking about today? We're talking about, well, a little bit of a bust up between Oliver Glasner, the Crystal Palace manager, and Marc Guehi. Maybe a little bit more on the Alexander Isak saga and where that could go. A little bit as well on Ibrahim Konate and his contract situation. And I wanted to touch all things Liverpool in general related. So, guys, and a little bit on Chiesa too, some interesting news on Chiesa. So, guys, before we get into the video, do remember to drop a like on the video. Do remember to subscribe to the channel if you have not already done so. And do drop a comment down below. It goes a long way, people. So, that would be much appreciated. Well, where should we start? Let's start with the obvious one, the little bust up that happened yesterday. So, after Chelsea's and Crystal Palace's 0-0 draw yesterday at Stamford Bridge, after the game, it appears that Oliver Glasner, the Crystal Palace manager, was calling out to Marc Guehi, and Marc Guehi, for whatever reason, decided to ignore his gaffer. I don't know if he didn't hear him, which is very unlikely, let's be real, but he shakes his head and he just continues to ignore him and walk down the touchline. Now, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on. I'm sensing some tension in the Crystal Palace camp between Oliver Glasner and between Marc Guehi. It definitely feels like there is tension there, and it definitely is looking like that is, the actions of a player who wants out, who now wants to move to and better himself in a bigger challenge. That's what I'm feeling from that. I'm feeling that Marc Guehi has made up his mind that he would like to join Liverpool. As for the bust-up, though, I have no idea because I feel Marc Guehi has been very respectful regarding the whole Liverpool saga. So that bust-up could potentially, or probably most likely, has nothing to do with the transfer thing. It was probably something during the game, maybe a substitution, or maybe Guehi wasn't happy about something, which is why he ignored him. But I can't lie, it's not a great look for Guehi to be doing that when you consider what's going on with the Liverpool saga, when you consider, him potentially leaving Palace. It's not a great look to be doing things like that in the midst of when you're going do a transfer saga. So Guehi, I can't lie, he might have made a bad move there, but you know what? I can't lie. I don't really see nothing to this, to be fair. I think it was just an in-game thing, something that happened during the game that Guehi weren't happy about. But of course, you know how people are. People have got to, talk about something. They have to make some story out of something. And I feel what's happened here is, the journalists have, of course, seen the saga with Guehi and Liverpool. And obviously, Guehi doing what he did yesterday to his manager, Oliver Glasner, has, it's just handed them a story on a plate, Guehi bust up because, he wants to leave Liverpool, he's being forced, etc. So, again, the journalists are like, yeah, they will jump on anything they can, literally, and that's what they've done. They've made a big story out of something that probably isn't even a big story to begin with. So, journalists are just like that here, let's be real. So, I don't think nothing of it, though, guys. I don't think nothing of it, to be fair. I think it was a nothing argument, and I think, people need to not read too much into it. As for Guehi and Liverpool, I still think that Marc Guehi will become a Liverpool player. I think it's in Palace's best interest to sell him now rather than lose him on a free next summer. So I feel Liverpool and Crystal Palace will come to an agreement on the signing of Marc Guehi. Like I said, in the best interest. The player seems now like he wants to move. He's not forcing his way out of the club or nothing, but it definitely is looking like the player is open and does want the move. So Guehi to Liverpool, I feel, is very, 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 very close. Maybe something this week on the Guehi thing, maybe next week, but I feel we're going to get a here we go and we're going to get something there very, very soon. So, yeah. But it was interesting. It was definitely interesting. It definitely got me thinking why there was a bust up between Guehi and Glasner. But again, when you look into it deeper, when you realise what everything's going on, you kind of just, accept, yeah, you know what, I don't think there's much to talk about there. So that's what I feel on the Guehi thing. Next thing is I wanted to touch on Federico Chiesa. Now, obviously, Federico Chiesa scored Liverpool's winning goal against Bournemouth on Friday night. A great finish. And again, all it did was rectify, in my mind, why Chiesa must remain a Liverpool footballer. I think we have to keep him. When you look at our forward line, it's pretty weak at the moment. We have two right wingers currently. We have one left winger and we have one striker. So we need a left winger. We need another striker. And I don't see why we would be looking to sell Chiesa and why we would be looking to move him on when we'd have to go get another right winger probably. Do we really want to be that sort of a cover where we only have one front line, where we only have one player in each position in the front line? I don't think so. So I think again, it's the smart move here is to keep Federico Chiesa at the club. And looking from the reports are very, very positive. It certainly looks like Liverpool are now, Liverpool now are interested and definitely want to keep Federico Chiesa around for another season at least. I think it's great news. Give him more game time this season and you'll see him blossom. You'll see a much better player than he did last season. To be fair, I wouldn't even say that because he didn't get game time last season, but give Chiesa more game time this season and I think you'll see a very, very, very good gem on our hands there. And you know what? People forget. Chiesa can play off the left, to be fair. He can play off the left and he can play centrally as well. So he's a player that can be flexible. Obviously, his preferred position is the right wing, but, he's very flexible in his position. I feel personally, when Salah's having a bad game, which let's be real, Salah does have a bad game every now and then, make the big call. I feel Slot should make the big call in that case. Salah's having a poor game, make the big judgment call. Take Mohamed Salah off in the game, put Federico Chiesa on, and you'll see, someone who will come on and add more energy to the game. Obviously, it's very unlikely that happens because Salah, despite, sometimes not having the best game, he can rock up with just a goal out of nowhere and win us the game, which, to be fair, is understandable. So it is always a big risk when you want to take Mohamed Salah off the pitch, which is why I feel Arne Slot doesn't do it as much. He knows that if Mohamed Salah has a bad game, Mohamed Salah can still rock up with a goal, and win us the game. He's a clutch player. That's what world-class players do. So I definitely see why Salah is persisted with and why he's kept on the pitch for most games for the full 90. But I feel sometimes every now and then make the big call, put Chiesa in and, drop Salah if it has to be. Or if you have to, you can always play Chiesa off the left wing in a worst case scenario or even up top, So, yeah, Chiesa is someone who's flexible and I feel this season we should definitely use him a lot more. And I feel we will use him a lot more. I feel now that Arne Slot knows that Chiesa will stick around for another year, I feel we will see Arne Slot utilize him more and integrate him more into the team. Where he plays him, I'm not too sure. But I feel we will see a lot more of Federico Chiesa this season, which for me, in my opinion, and for a lot of other fans, is great news. It's made my day, to be fair. I really want Chiesa to stay and I really want him to be successful too. I really, really like the player. I think, how much players do you get usually, the Italian players leaving the Serie A to come to play in the Premier League? Not much. So, again, Chiesa is a fan favourite. He's one of my favourites. And, again, if he blossoms and if he carries on playing well, there's no one going to be more happier than us Chiesa fans. So, Chiesa staying, great news in my opinion. I wanted to touch now on Ibrahima Konate. Now, Ibrahima Konate, look, this is a saga that is very, very interesting with Madrid sniffing around, with Paris Saint-Germain reportedly sniffing around. We don't know what's going to happen with Ibrahima Konate. We don't know what's going to happen with him. A couple of weeks ago, I said he was going to stay, but I keep getting mixed signals. When he plays how he does, when he plays how he did against Bournemouth, you start to wonder: do you want to be here? Is your mind fully in Liverpool? Are you committed to Liverpool Football Club? It does make you wonder. I'll be totally honest. And obviously, with Madrid sniffing around, well, if Madrid dare to make their interest genuine, dare I say, Konate's head gets turned. Now, the club are apparently going to be offering Ibrahima Konate a new deal very, very soon. Whether he decides to accept this deal remains uncertain. I think it all depends on how much his wages are going to be. I think if he feels the wages are acceptable, if he feels the wages are something that he's happy with, I feel Konate will definitely extend. I feel if he feels the wages are too low or if he feels we're not giving him enough money, you're going to see Konate win his contract down and go to Madrid, unfortunately, or Paris Saint-Germain. Definitely gives off shades of Trent here. If people remember correctly, we had the Trent game against Manchester United, the 2-2 last season at Anfield. That's the game that pretty much told us that Trent had his mind in Madrid. He'd made his mind up on Madrid. And I felt similarly to Kanati's performance against Bournemouth. I'll be totally honest. Even though we got bailed out in this one, like we didn't get United, but again, definitely gives our feelings or vibes of Trent again 2.0. I hope I'm wrong. I hope Ibu stays, and I hope Ibu wants to be here. But again, any player that doesn't want to be here in the position that we are now, where we're going as a club, I've got nothing to say to you, honestly. So hopefully Ibu does the right thing, but if not, it's not the end of the world. Better players have left in Ibu, and we've been fine. So Ibu, sign the damn contract, mate, please. We'll see where that one goes. But guys, that is it for me today. I'm going to head off. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. Hope you guys have enjoyed me repping the new Liverpool top as well. Big up to yourself, people. Do remember, on your way out, do like the video. Do drop a subscription if you have not already. Do drop a sub if you have not already, sorry. And do drop a comment down below. Big up, people. I'm going to head off. Liverpool Prophet. Peace out. Up the Reds. Let's go.